So you're on a weight loss journey. You're either just about to start or you're on it. Everybody needs a little kick up the behind every now and again, preferably from yourselves rather than somebody else, but we'll take it either way. This video is all about 5 rules to help you jumpstart your weight loss. Hello, and my name is Mark. I'm here to help you live a better, healthier life. My goal is to help as many people as I can get into shape and improve their quality of life. Now, if this is your first time here and you want to learn more about practical and effective ways to improve your health, fitness, and overall wellness, or if you're just interested in expanding your knowledge about fitness and nutrition, start now by hitting the subscription button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos going forward. And now, without further ado, let's jump right in. So just before we jump into the 5 rules, I just want to start off by saying these rules are my rules that I try and live by as much as I can. They're based on my own experience and they're all aimed towards having a healthy and sustainable weight loss. Basically, changing your lifestyle to a healthier lifestyle rather than the lifestyle that led you to my size. So this is one of those things where, you know, there is lots and lots of rules you could make up, but these are the 5 that I try and do day in, day out. Some I'm more successful with than others, but I do realize that when I do follow these rules more strictly, then it does have a noticeable impact on the scales when I'm actually weighing myself. So based on my experience, these are my 5 rules for helping to jumpstart your weight loss, but also by keeping it healthy and sustainable for the long term. Rule number 1, eating in front of screens. There are quite a few things why you should not be doing this. One is you're distracted by whatever you're watching or playing on the computer or whatever it is, and you don't realize how much you're eating. The bad bit about that is you could be having quite a big dinner. You can literally shovel it down and scoff it down as quickly as you can so you can get back on with your TV program or playing a computer game or whatever it is. And your body doesn't have time to realize exactly what it's eaten or how much it's eaten and whether it's full, because you're too distracted doing something else, whether it is TV, movie, you know, playing a computer game, whatever it is. Try not to eat in front of a screen. Make it one of your rules. I do break this from time to time because I sit in front of the couch with my wife and we watch a TV show while eating dinner, but we try not to, but we do sometimes. But I do notice that when you actually make time to eat away from a screen, even if you're still sat on the couch, just turn the TV off, you know, put some music on the background, enjoy your dinner, then get back on with what you're doing. It is one of those things that try and make this one of your rules. It will help you. It'll actually make you realize how much you're eating, what you're eating, that you're full after you've eaten it, so you're less likely to snack later on. It is a good rule to have, and probably one of the ones I'm worst at, but a very good rule to have. Okay, rule 2. When it comes to TV time, that could easily be exercise time. I'm not talking about every single time you watch TV you should be doing some exercise, but make it a rule that you will do some exercise, even if that's just walking around the living room, doing some yoga, whatever it is, while you're chilling out watching TV. Particularly if you watch TV a lot, take some time to actually make some of it exercise time. Then you'll get into a habit that TV, if you're watching TV at 6 o'clock in the evening, 6 till 7 is exercise time, 7 onwards is relax time. You know, find a corner of the room, just walk on the spot. You don't need to do anything massively extravagant, but any exercise is better than no exercise. And it is one of those things where if you can add in those extra steps, you know, 1,000, 2,000 extra steps, it will make a difference when it comes to your long-term weight loss journey. And remember, this is all about healthy and sustainable. This is not about waving some miracle wand and getting it fixed overnight. It's probably taken you years to become obese. In fact, it took me years to become obese and it didn't feel that long. But it went on in years. We're not talking about fixing it overnight, but even half an hour of walking on the spot is still half an hour more than you would have done by just sitting on the couch and watching TV. So rule 2 is all about making the most of your time. It's about TV equals exercise. It is one of those things, like I said, you're not going to be walking or running or whatever it is, skipping if you're feeling really energetic, yoga if you're feeling a little bit more relaxed. It is one of those things where you don't need to do it for every minute you watch TV. But if you're sitting down for 2 or 3 hours in the evening and watching TV, make half an hour or an hour of that time exercise time, and probably get it in at the start of your TV session. That way you've done your exercise, you can feel a bit better about yourself while you're sitting there watching the rest of your TV. And it's still more exercise than you would have done by just sitting on the couch, doing nothing and watching all the TV. Okay, rule number 3. Snacks should be fruit, veg and nuts. Sounds simple, but it's one of those things that as little processed food as you can have for your snacks, the better. Sticking with your fruits, your vegetables and your nuts is healthy, natural, and as long as you control your portions, very healthy for you. I do tweak this by having carrots and hummus, for example, but it's still not as processed as a big bag of Doritos or something that I used to snack on. It also means that there's less calories in it, but I can also eat more of it. It fills me up better and it keeps me full for longer. It is one of those things that fruit, nuts and veg are a great thing to have. Now, there is a challenge with this one, and that is having those available to you, which they cost a little bit of money, but they're far better for you and far more filling than buying a chocolate bar or a bag of Doritos. But the key bit here is preparation. If you really want a snack and all you've got in the house is crisps and chocolate, the problem is you are going to eat those crisps and chocolate. You're not going to forego your snack because you're hungry. And it is one of those things that if you're not prepared for your healthier snacks, then you're not going to be able to reach for them. You won't think about it. Quark and zero fat yogurts and things are really good to have as alternatives. So you don't need to strictly, stick to fruits, vegetables and nuts. But the more simple you can make it, the better it will be for you, the healthier those snacks will be. And it is one of those things, you may well find odd little ones out there like quark, can't say it properly, but that with a little bit of honey in it is a fantastic sweet bite to have if you're fancying something sweet. Nuts are brilliant in terms of something to chew on, something that are filling. Just portion control your nuts. It's very easy to eat far too many of those because, if you're anything like me, I used to eat the bag, not a palmful of snacks. But there are far healthier options out there in terms of what you can have than your Doritos, your chocolate bars, Hershey's, whatever it is. Fruit, veg, nuts, that's what should be where you start, and that's the rule I try and stick to. Okay, rule number 4. We all eat out from time to time or order a takeaway in. It is one of those things that it's very easy to go overboard, particularly if you're being good and limiting the number of takeaways and meals out that you're having. There's this urge to actually go overboard. So rule number 4, choose what you're going to have before you get there. It is one of those things, it sounds so simple, but it really does, if you're anything like me at all, it really does save you from feeling like ordering everything. When you walk into an Indian and you smell the flavors, and your mouth is drooling with anticipation. The urge is to sit down with the menu and go, ooh, I'm gonna order one of everything. That's all well and good, but you'll set yourself back for weeks. Whereas if you know you're going out for an Indian or a Chinese or anything else, even a pizza, if you know what you're going to order before you get there, you'll be less inclined to actually order everything and start throwing it down your throat and eating far too much before you realize that you're actually full. It is one of those things, it's probably the single biggest thing that I've done over the years, apart from reducing the number of takeaways in general I'm having and cooking far more at home and keeping it simple and with less complex carbohydrates. There are lots of things I've done, but in terms of easy things to achieve, this rule number 4, choose what you're going to order before you get there. So that you know, as a starter I'm going to have that, and as a main course I'm going to have that, and you're not tempted by everything under the sun on the menu. And you also hopefully have made that decision early in the afternoon or whatever, before going out, when you're not actually so hungry you could eat everything, because that's the sort of danger zone, and leads very nicely into rule number 5. But before we talk about number 5, if you're enjoying this video, please do smash that like button. It really does help get the message out there and hopefully help other people that are on their weight loss journey as well. So rule number 5. This is going to sound daft. It really is. But never go to the shops hungry. My wife and I, when we first started trying to be healthier, and failing miserably by the way, but when we first started trying to be healthier, we started going to the shops more and deciding what we were going to eat and kind of meal planning. But we quite often went after I'd finished work or after my wife had finished work, and we turned into competitive shoppers in the worst possible way. She would pick a treat, because as you're wandering down the aisles, you see something you quite fancy that you haven't had for a while, and you go, ooh, I'll have that. Then the other one, whether it was me or my wife, would see the person picking that as a treat and go, well, if they're having that, I'm going to have a pack of donuts or whatever it was. And because you were hungry, pretty much everything as you're walking around the shop looks really good, because you're hungry and therefore you want to eat. It sounds so silly, and looking back on it, it was so obvious what we were doing, but for weeks we didn't realize we were doing it. You'd just kind of be walking around the shop and it'd be like, oh, she got a packet of crisps, so I'm going to get a packet of crisps. And you ended up with half a ton of not very good, I was trying to be polite, I didn't want to use that word, not very good stuff in your shopping basket or your trolley. You probably still got the things on your shopping list, but you ended up with a third extra of stuff that was just going to be bad for your healthy lifestyle in that quantity. Nothing's bad on its own in moderation, but in that quantity that would have been just a killer, and it was for months. So when it comes to going and doing your shopping, make a list, do your meal planning, at least vaguely, so you know what you're having for the next few days, week. All right, and then actually go and do that shopping after you've had some food, never while you're hungry. So rule number 5, don't shop hungry. Now, as always, if you're enjoying these videos, please do hit the like button and share, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.